Hi guys, it's 1/3/2013 at 11:05 a.m. Um, these energies that started yesterday are really kicking up. I've wondered if it was gonna kind of fade yesterday, and it's apparent that it just increased all day long, and it seemed to have gained about half the strength again by the time I went to sleep last night. And then this morning I'm waking up and uh, feeling it pretty intensely still. And there are many people that are feeling the same thing globally. And it's interesting to go and do my research to see if there are any CMEs, solar flares, or solar holes that's causing the radiation that many times in 2012 we were feeling it when these things occurred as the photons from the Galactic Center would hit the sun would step down the energies and send them out to us, and we would receive them and again step them down and send it out to humanity and to Mother Earth. That is just part of how the process works. But yesterday's energies have become really curious to me because there are no solar events going on that would be um, causing this that I can find. And another friend just sent me a scientific report that just came out yesterday saying that we've just entered a belt of magnetic radiation that is coming from the center of the galaxy, not just the central sun or great central sun that's coming from the great central sun. And we've just entered this. Now, interestingly, interesting, interestingly enough, uh, it would not have just started so abruptly yesterday morning like that. When you've got something that's being sent out from roughly 35,000 light years from the Galactic Center, and it is being sent out, even a laser beam is going to spread and diffuse. So, uh, what we would feel as we were hitting that light coming at us would be a slow transition into a heavier light. So that's not what we're feeling either. Now, I was also thinking about the reduction in the magnetics of Earth, which we could be having another great reduction now, which would allow us to feel the photon belt or even those same magnetics that that scientific journal report was discussing. If we were having another collapse in the Earth's magnetic field, which would make us feel dizzier and um, kind of like we've got vertigo or a yeast infection going on, but I can't find any evidence of exactly that, any dramatic changes that's happened just since yesterday morning either. So there is another option. That's the one that many of us have been waiting on, and that is that so many of us, so much of humanity has begun their activation process or started to accept the light into their being, even if they are doing it unwittingly and aren't choosing the ascension mastery process or the activation of chakras. Um, Many people will have no idea of that, but will have a purity of being and unconditional love that will allow them to absorb the light and subconsciously begin their process without even knowing what's going on. We have known that it takes a critical mass number to cause these planetary events. It's just like in all previous four worlds of Earth history, there was only 8,000 persons that actually stepped into ascended mastery and took that initiation process, went that through that gateway and that doorway and that path. And then in 2009, we had 8,000 that went through that path in one single year, which began the ripple effect that at Venus transit, the messages were coming in and being confirmed by many others out there, all at the same time without us picking up the phone or Skype and saying, hey, did you get this one? We all wrote it and acknowledged it at the same time. We had 144,000 people that had gone through their higher initiation processes. And now I would say we're into the millions of people because it pyramids geometrically like that. We always affect everybody else as we go through these processes. Now that, with that being said, there's going to be a critical mass of humanity that goes through it that will start an energetic reaction that I wonder if this might be what we're feeling right now, which brings the great shift that we've all been waiting on. I don't know that it's true, but it certainly is a possibility. But I do know that so many people are feeling the intensities of these energies that are coming through that really began yesterday with no planetary alignment, no solar flares, no CMEs, no dark spots, no the full moon's been days. There's not anything that we can pinpoint it as. And it leads me to believe that we've reached the critical mass number of awakening humanity that has stepped into unconditional love, that is allowing the light to affect their and activate their light body and begin their ascension process, and they radiate it out to everyone else. It makes sense. Someone else sent me an article this morning on, that was 11/11 as I said that, not in this, but as the time. Someone else sent me an article this morning written by an Indian yogi about why some persons aren't feeling the light. And it is because they're not living from their heart in a true state of unconditional love. I've discussed this many times. You've got to be so into your heart and out of your ego and have released the negativities and the fears and the stuff that you've experienced all your life to allow your chakras to activate, to allow more and more light come into your being and into your Merkaba, and to remain there, to increase the light quotient. And so that was perfect timing, because so many people have been asking why, and especially since 12/21, why so many of us are feeling such intensities in the light and such dramatic shifts and change that we're perceiving while others are not. And I had mentioned that, it's you're looking to the exterior illusion as someone doing this for you rather than you going inside and doing your work yourself. Adding that unconditional love point of reference is huge. That's probably the greatest thing right there, because you have to have that unconditional love for everyone, for everything you've experienced, and realize it was just a learning lesson that we came to Earth School to experience. And it's part of karma, part of releasing and having that unconditional love and releasing those old traumas is the releasing of the densities, the karma, the lower vibrations that keeps you from holding the light. It all plays in together. It is all part of the same thing. You have to have absolute unconditional love, absolute um, love for all that is to hold the highest light. I've known quite a few yogis, and I'm talking Western yogi practitioners that believe they're in true spirituality, but are very much in their ego because I work with this kind of yoga, or I work out with these people, or I have studied under this yoga guru, or it's all mental stuff. It is not heart based stuff, even though they claim love and peace. It is conditional love. And you cannot have conditional love and hold the highest light. You have to have unconditional love. And there's a huge difference in what conditional and unconditional love is. When somebody says, I love you, but I love you if you do this for me. I love you as long as you do this, and I will switch my love. That is conditional love. Unconditional love has no boundaries, and it is eternal, and it is unconditional. It is just that. That does not mean just because you unconditionally love someone that you have to tolerate a whole bunch of bullcrap from them. It doesn't mean that you have to have lower vibrations in your field. And it's interesting to see so many friends have messaged me who have just gone through their activation processes here in the past weeks and months, and it's time for them to make a change, a shift, because the world around them that they've been living in has not shifted, and they've found their higher vibrations. They've activated themselves through their unconditional love, and they still love these people like you can't imagine. It's just like me and people that I left. I love them with all my heart, but they cannot understand what their vibrations were doing to me and to my field and how it was affecting my mission. And they could turn around and say, oh, it's just making you stronger. Well, it made me stronger for, the vast part of 48 years. But to hold the highest light, I had to get out of it. I had to clean up the BS. I had to release my own densities, thoughts, and perceptions and ways of perceiving things. And I was always in the unconditional love, and that's what allowed me to be in higher dimensional awareness in the first place. I was always in a fourth dimensional reality, even throughout this lifetime, my whole life. While I was watching other people playing 3D, thinking all this crap just happens to me in my life, I was out there realizing my connection and playing with creation and realizing I had a part in it. And when I finally activated my heart chakra in 2009, and that took a long time to do, to get that to happen, that's when everything really started shifting. And persons that I still love so very deeply, I mean, close friends and lovers and family and relations, and even my own daughter, my ex-wife, I love all these persons so dearly, but their vibration was keeping me in check. And until they would choose to make their shift and shift from their head into their heart, true unconditional love and true realizing the illusion that's going on around them, then the energies have to separate. And we're seeing so much of that going on right now with all of humanity. And the same thing even with our governments and our religions, and it's doing this with all of us. And so there is going to be some separation, and then going into self and the individuality to expand the individual's light. And anyway, that's what's going on. And man, these energies are powerful coming in right now. And I think we're all connecting. I think it's all, with all the people activating, it's heart to heart with all of us. And that's part of the generation we feel. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Love you all. Bye for now.